A new, almost surprise update for Halo MCC has now launched, and yes, of course, we already knew about Flood Firefight coming to MCC this week, but there is so much more to not only Flood Firefight, but MCC as a whole that I think a lot of people did not anticipate. So stay tuned throughout the entirety of this video so you guys get all the details that you need to know, and make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you're new here and you want to stay absolutely up to date on all the latest happenings in the world of Halo. So let's start with what everybody's been waiting for since it was flighted last year, which is Flood Firefight in Halo 3 ODST. A bunch of things have been added that I did not expect to see in this mode, so let's talk about it. First things first, 343 has made numerous networking improvements which benefit Firefight across the board. They've also fixed several issues with enemies getting stuck or not seeking out the player properly, which was one of the major reasons why this got held back after the flights. A new feature that's been added is being able to see the enemy locations via the visor map or pressing the back button on the controller, and this basically works as a radar, and you could even view this while you are dead. Players can also now use the energy sword and the sentinel beam in ODST for the first time ever, and can even spawn with those weapons in Fiesta Fight or by editing the custom game settings for Firefight. Now, a while ago, sentinels were added to ODST Firefight, but now elites are also being added along with the Flood, so that is another new addition for ODST, being able to fight elites. 343 has also added a new boon system which is available across Firefight missions to aid you against the undead onslaught. These boons include things like weapon racks containing assault rifles and battle rifles, neither of which were available in the original version of Halo 3 ODST Firefight. But that's not all. Some of these boons are map specific, so players will find things like flamethrowers to fend off the Flood on certain maps, and on other maps players will be assisted by allies, computer allies. Marines and NMPD officers will help combat the Flood and can help you by manning vehicles and turrets. On night missions, allied elites are delivered via insertion pods to aid you, and if matchmaking isn't your thing, these allies can help even the odds in solo Firefight, and they can be enabled or disabled in any Firefight game variant options. There's a cool new addition: when the Flood are coming in a certain wave, a dense fog will appear, which will give the map a cool and spooky ambience. The Flood can now also occupy vehicles for the first time since Halo 2, and 343 has added a few new animations which allow the Flood to pilot those vehicles, traverse the environment more effectively, and even wield support weapons like turrets. Now in ODST there are 3 new types of Flood combat forms that have been introduced as well: the Infected Civilian, the Infected ODST, and the Infected Elite Major, which sports red armor and energy shields. And Flood can also drop onto the map via dispersal pods. But the coolest addition to me personally is that the ODSTs can be infected and resurrected by the Flood. So if an ally goes down, like an actual player or even yourself, if you go down near an infection form, they will actually reanimate your corpse and your body will come alive as a computer, and you could fight yourself basically as a Flood form. Now in custom games you could select a Firefight mode, and even in matchmaking there is a Halo 3 ODST Firefight Flood option that you could select, but you can also customize on a per wave basis if you would like to in a custom game, if you want to mix Covenant and Flood in there. Now 343 didn't forget about Reach Firefight. There's also a couple of additions there. Players can now trade weapons with allies, like the Covenant units in Firefight Versus, or the friendly Marines in the Installation 04 map, and also be able to evict them from vehicles to take over their seats in Firefight matchmaking as well. Custom Game Browser got a huge update that will make a lot of players happy. They've added support for automatic team changing, which allows the game host to avoid manual team changes in favor of automatically evening teams out when a new match begins. And finally, Halo 2, Halo 2 Anniversary, and Halo 4 have been added to the Custom Games browser, so you can go on out there and have some fun on those games alongside Halo CE, Reach, and 3. They've also made a number of UI presentation adjustments across MCC's front end. In the customization menus, they've improved the presentation of the Firefight voice preview behavior for Halo Reach and how items are previewed there. They've also updated and redesigned numerous icons used throughout the menus, as well as fixed some performance issues which could occur in the main menu and the pause menu after returning from gameplay. For all my forgers and modders out there, there have been several changes made to empower you guys. So in Halo Reach, Halo 4, and H2A, they've added support for team-based kill volumes. So now forgers can set a kill or safe volume to a given team, and the boundary will only affect players on that team. So for example, you can now enclose an invasion spawn location in a soft kill volume that makes it inaccessible to the opposing team. They've also fixed several legacy bugs across these 3 games, which cause object colors to be lost on subsequent rounds or otherwise conflict with the object's team. For Halo Reach, they've added proper support for the target locator to reset on new rounds in multiplayer and to be synchronized properly across devices. Modders may also notice that the weather now synchronizes properly across devices in Reach as well. 343 also added some pictures of the modding tools, and I'll put those in the video in the background right now for you guys to see in case anything catches your eye. I don't know anything about modding or Forge, so I'll leave that to all you more creative and smarter people than me. Another big feature being added today was that campaign crossplay for Halo 3 and ODST are now added, so players on PC and Xbox consoles can now play those campaigns cooperatively online. 343 did warn though that this feature has only been tested internally and that the team requires additional insight from real players with different networking setups. Please submit bug report tickets if you encounter any issues in game and share your feedback on this new feature in the Halo Waypoint forums. Campaign customization has now been added to Halo 4 as well, so the multiplayer skins that you have unlocked for your weapons will now be in the campaign. That is a toggleable feature in the campaign settings before you start a mission. Now they've made some improvements to how Halo 4 multiplayer skins appear. So previously skins were only available in game variants with loadouts enabled, though they did make the upgrade in 2020 to allow skins to be applied to map and game loadouts, where areas they were only available for custom loadouts in the original Halo 4 release. However, now skins are applied to all game variants. So now when you're playing Fiesta and you spawn in with a weapon, whatever skin you have selected for that weapon in your customization menu will appear in game. 343 has also added support for 51 new multiplayer medals in Halo 3, and you guys could see the full list of them here on the screen. They've also fixed issues with the existing Steaktacular and Triple-Double medals appearing in Halo 3. Those medals were always tracked, but players now have control over if and how they are displayed in the game. Now these changes have allowed 343 to normalize medal XP across games and better support medal-based challenges. I'm hoping this means that the objective medal challenges are now able to be done in Halo 3, where it was much easier in Halo 2 Anniversary or Halo 4 to get objective medals for things like King of the Hill. Now, of course, for all the purists out there who prefer the legacy medal style but want a bit more feedback in the kill feed, there is a new original plus medal display setting that can be enabled in the unified medal display section under the video settings. This original plus setting will display all the legacy medals plus 3 of the more common new ones, which is Headshot, Assist, and Super Combine in Halo 3's HUD. Purists can simply enable the original medal display setting for the legacy experience if you want, and you now even have the option to turn medals completely off. 343 also made changes to the monthly challenges and the exchange rotations. So it sounds like current seasonal challenges will shift to a 28-day cadence and award XP and or points that you could spend in existing tiers for previous seasons, or the exchange to unlock new armor customization items. However, when I currently look at my seasonal challenges, I don't see any timer that says it's expiring in a month, but that's what it sounds like. It sounds like seasonals will now become monthly challenges. 343 has added many of the skulls that were previously exclusive to Halo CE Anniversary and Halo 2 Anniversary to some of the other games in the collection. Some of these will be marked as use at your own risk skulls with a red warning icon and a warning message that will read, quote, "You have turned on an experimental skull which may produce unexpected scenarios or hinder your ability to complete this mission. Experimental skulls may be disabled to return the game to a normal state," end quote. So Halo 2 now has the Acrophobia skull, while Halo 3 will get Anger, Bandana, Bonded Pair, Boom, Eye Patch, Foreign, Ghost, Jacked, Malfunction, Master Blaster, Pinata, Recession, So Angry, Swarm, That's Just Wrong. They come back, all added to Halo 3. Now Halo 3 ODST will get all those skulls I just listed for Halo 3 besides the They Come Back skull, and Acrophobia was added to ODST. 343 also went over a list of key features and content the team has up its sleeve to release over the course of this year if everything goes according to plan. Mod support for the remaining games in the collection is on the way. Their goal is to support modding in Steam Workshop for every game in MCC. In CU58, they're adding support for Halo 3 ODST, and during this year, their goal is to also add support for Halo Reach, Halo 2 Anniversary Multiplayer, and Halo 4. They also still have some leftover armor and customization content that wasn't in their previous seasonal releases, and they will be bringing these items to MCC in the future. 343 says the code and the content to support shootable MOA collectibles in all the remaining games, so CE, Halo 2, ODST, Reach, and Halo 4 is complete. The collectibles themselves have not been placed or configured for any of the games aside from Halo 3 yet. However, in Halo CE and Halo 2, these will only appear in the classic visuals. In ODST, they will receive the yellow outline when using visor mode like the existing audio log collectibles. The post-match customization screen in multiplayer will be coming to the remaining games in the collection, which allows players to set a pose for the post-game Carnage report. This feature will support poses for both Spartans and Elites. In the future, they're also looking to include improved mission subtitle support for all games in the collection, including controller remapping, and they're also exploring additional campaign accessibility options for everyone out there. They also said for this year, since they moved away from MCC's seasonal releases, they'll be making some UI adjustments and changes to how things from the seasonal model appear in the game. Along with those updates, they're working on a variety of customization improvements to simplify the UI, as well as make a clear distinction between legacy and new content that are available to the players in the game. One last major item that they are doing work on are medals for Halo 3. Everything from adding universal medals to the game, as well as updating XP across them, including some missing medals, then also adding a toggle for players similar to CE and Halo 2 to switch back to how they originally appeared. 343 also says that they're not done. Of course, the team will continue to engage with the community and find areas of opportunity to adjust as needed for MCC. They're also aiming to balance their release windows for these updates to not conflict with ongoing updates for Halo Infinite. And of course, I'll keep all of you updated on whatever new dialogue 343 happens to say about MCC and of course Halo Infinite, but you guys have to make sure you're subscribed to the channel in order to stay up to date on the latest news. Thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day to watch my video. Hopefully you did enjoy it, and if you did, make sure you hit the like button because it does greatly help me out, and I hope to catch you on either a previous video of mine or a future video of mine. Until that time comes, I'm your boy Patman, and I'm out.